welcome back. This is round 5 of the TRACKILICIOUS Winter GT4 Open Series. Making my debut. This happens directly after the Rookie Series race that you guys saw yesterday. Also around Watkins Glen. This is my qualifying lap for this one. I remember to record this. So here we go. So on the qualifying lap down into the 90. Brakes at the 200 board. Try to swing it out as far as you can. Track limits are just past the red, yellow curving on the outside. Up through the S's. All the way up to 5th gear. Like I said in the previous video, Porsche very slow. Up through this sector 1 straight. This series combines 2 classes. They have a pro class and a rookie class. The pros being people that have done sim racing leagues before or have high sim grid ratings, as that's where you do the sign up for the series. That and basically when you start with TRACKILICIOUS, you start normally in the rookie series if you don't have a high sim grid rating already, and then you can move up from there. I decided after the races at Zolder that I wanted to compete in the Open Series as well, so I decided Watkins Glen is one of my favorite tracks, so I decided to do that. Do it here as well. As you can see, not very far up on my quality time, like my benchmark time, and not gonna have as quick as a lap as I did in the Rookie Series, and gonna come across the line in a second as we come out of turn 11 down to start finish straight. We're gonna go up by a couple hundredths, and it's gonna put us at a 155, 117, which is going to keep us in 12th place, and that is where my quality, that was my fastest lap, so my quality pretty much end. Even with my lap from the Rookie Series, it still would only have put me 10th on the grid for this race. So going on to the start of the race, starting P12, still fastest pole technically in my class. Out-qualified a couple of the pro drivers. And 50-minute race around Watkins Glen for this. 1 required pit stop, 25 seconds at least full of fuel, and so it's optional 5 seconds to take tires, not take tires. We'll get into that a little bit later in the race, into the pit strategy and what some other people did around me. But overfilled the car a little bit. I was expecting to probably stay out and run a little longer than everybody else, just because I feared that if got into some trouble maybe early in the lap, it might be good to try to overcut some people, get fresh tires, try to come back through the field later on. But we're going to be lined up middle of the pack here, and we're going to look to hopefully not, as the bridge across the track says, go bowling into turn number 1. We've got on the outside for this one, so we've got an Alpine next to us. We're going to go green. We're going to make the run down to the 90, turn number 1. We're going to back out a little bit early. Just try to stay safe into there. As you can see, the Porsche and the Alpine get together. I don't know how he saved that, but the Porsche continues straight somehow. We're going to look to the inside of the Alpine here as we come up through the S's. He's going to come over and give us a little bump here. Hopefully you're going to have enough draft from this Porsche in front of us to get in front. We're going to pass the Alpine down the straight. Holy crap, the Porsche with the top end speed. As you can see, up 2 positions already from the start. So already looking good off the rip. We're going to try to stick with this group in front of us as we head down towards the chute. Fell back just a little bit from 9th place after coming up through the S's. running through the boot of the Glen here. See the Porsche runs out wide, and Forrest is a little slower than I thought he was going to be out of the corner, and I gave him a little nudge and he spun out. Once again said I was sorry in the chat after the race, but unfortunately the race goes on. For him it wasn't the best of races, but for me hopefully it turns out a different way. So now we're going to try to stay right here, try to catch up to the Porsches in front of me that are battling it out for 7th place. They're also fighting with the Aston Martin. You can see that one Porsche, the yellow Porsche, runs out really wide, and Weaver in the number 12 car is going to get a great run down the front stretch. He's going to look to the inside in the 90. And they're going to be side by side as we head towards the S's. I'm going to try to find a way through here, but there's really just not going to be an opening for me, as they're still side by side as we come down the straight here. I'm going to try to get the run, but I'm just not going to have enough speed to be able to pull up alongside, so we're just going to tuck back away, back in line, and look to pass this other Porsche somewhere else. As you can see, the Mercedes has caught up behind me. We come out of the outer loop. Close in tow right now with everybody around, so, you know, looking good. Coming up into the boot again.
Yellow flag in sector 2.
You can see the yellow Porsche is he's kind of missing his braking marks a little bit, missing the apexes, kind of falling back from the other Porsche ahead in the Aston. So I saw that, and I feel like I got the pace to keep up with the guys in front of him, so we're going to try to figure out a way past. See, once again, right again. We're going to close up. I just see the Mercedes behind me, right sniffing my butt also. But need to find a way around this Porsche quick. But he's doing just enough to stay far enough ahead of me to keep me out from his flip. Sorry, I just had a green mark there for some reason. We're gonna finish lap 2, 9th place. Still up 3 positions from the start. Gonna get a good run out of turn number 1. Be tucked up behind behind the Porsche and the slipstream. We're gonna see how much the slipstream affects Porsche on Porsche. See, we're gaining a pretty good amount on the Porsche. He's gonna cover the inside. We're gonna go to the outside, but we're not gonna have enough overspeed.
Clear on the right.
So we're gonna have to tuck back in. Really hard to pull off a move around the outside here, going into the bus stop. But we're gonna be right there as we come through the outer loop. He's gonna get a great run down to turn 6. And I'm not going to be able to make a move down in here either as we head to the boot. Trying to find a way past this Porsche. I don't want to let the guys in front of us get ahead any more than they already are. I want to be right there so that way if they start fighting, I can get back in there. Slipstream be right up with them. But here we come into the heel. Trying to close his gap up. Hopefully, maybe be able to make a run down the front stretch.
Slow car ahead.
That's about our next chance for a move. Is down in the turn number 1, the 90. But as you heard before, you hear the slow car ahead. You look to the right side of the track here. He's going to be sitting right on the apex of turn 11. And I'm going to have to dodge that, not be able to get down. And we're going to lose some time to the car ahead. But everybody kind of lost some time from that. Notch, he had a, I want to say the second car had an incident on the first lap, and it took him 2 laps to get around. And he had like 5 minutes of damage, which is unfortunate for his race. hurt right there. I got a track limits running. Track limits on T1 where who knows? Sometimes you ran out wide and you got track limits. Sometimes you didn't. So it was kind of a 50-50 kind of thing. Basically flipping a coin every time you ran wide in turn one. But you see pulled away from the Mercedes a little bit. They're coming to the bus stop. Porsche's gonna get out wide. He's gonna go off the track. And he's gonna bounce in front of us and wasn't able to stop quick enough to give him a little tap. He's gonna fall behind the Mercedes in line. And we are going to look ahead to the Porsche and the Aston fighting in front of us. And hopefully try to catch up. Here we are coming on the lap, end of lap 14, coming on the lap 15. You see him in second place. A lot of people have pit already. You see the Porsche ahead of me. Weaver is going to also come into the pits. Kind of been out here by myself. The Mercedes that was behind was about 2 seconds behind me for most of the stint. As you see, it ran long. Most people started coming in around 27, 26, 25 minutes. I purposely overfueled to run long, and I figured might as well see if I can run a little bit longer. So my plan here at this rate, I want to say it was a 6 or 7 second gap to the Porsche ahead of me. So I figured I'll take tires in case the cars behind me have to undercut me. I will have fresh tires and run them down at the end of this, in the last stint of the race. And then maybe if I don't have to spend my time fighting them, maybe the guys ahead don't take tires and maybe they're slow. Maybe I can catch up to them. We'll see, who knows. As you can see, my tires have been off through quali and through the race. My tires have been not up to temperature. That's because I'm stupid and didn't do any practice on the server, so it's lower track temps. So I kind of guessed going into qualifying and guessed going into the race, and also guessed during my pit stop here on what I need to get to, and I was way off every single time. Well, not way off, but I was off every time, and that's all that matters. So, finishing our in lap here. Not the greatest in lap, but it'll do. Checking all my stuff as I come into the pit lane here. We're going to come out of turn number 11 and into the pit lane, and I'm going to absolutely nail this pit entrance. I honestly thought I was getting a drive-through penalty for that one. I was really, really close to being too quick coming into the pit lane. So, last one into the pits here. Coming in, lap 15 on a 16. Gonna hit our marks. And we'll have 30 seconds because I'm gonna take tires here. And as you'll see, I'm gonna start losing positions now, down to second. So if I didn't take tires, I would be leaving the pit lane right now, which I think
Mandatory stop is now clear.
might have put me
Low tire pressure, stay clear on the curbs.
a little bit closer to the cars in front, but I don't think it would have been enough, and I would have been out struggling on old tires. So I figured let's take it. We're going to come out in 8th, right where we were before the pit stop phase started. And the Mercedes that I'm going to come out right in front of is going to be a fight for position. So I know this Mercedes is going to be quicker than me down the straight. So the goal is to hold 8th, because I know if I can get through the bus stop ahead of him, I should have enough time through sectors 2 and 3 to warm up the tires to stay ahead of him. I'm not sure if he took tires or not. I don't think this guy took tires based on how quickly I was able to pull a gap on him during this stint. I don't think he took tires. I think he was on tires to start the race. But successfully beat him to the bus stop. So we're looking good, trying to get tire pressures up. come into the toe here of the boot at the Glen. Mercedes still just hanging on back there, but as you'll see, we start building tire temp, and I'm going to start pulling away from them slowly but steadily. And I'm going to focus my attention up front with cars. The same 3 cars that were ahead of me after the first sequence of laps. I'm going to focus ahead on those guys and try to hunt them down before the end of the race. And as we come to the end of this race, as you can see in the top left, my pace has gotten better. I'm running about a 55, low 55s now at the end of this race. I did run a 54.7 during this stint, so it was really happy to see that kind of pace coming out of me in this. I know last video I talked about how I have not been happy with my race pace, how it's been about a half second slower than usual, and I want to say it was about that during the start of the race. And I was really happy to start running faster laps. I kind of started pushing a little bit more. It was definitely one of those things where I paid attention to those cars ahead, and I was like, okay, we're going to try to hunt these guys down. And that really seemed to work for me. But unfortunately wasn't able to catch the cars in front. I made an effort to. We closed the gap a little bit, and I think if I had the pace that I do at the end of the race, at the start of the race, I think we're out fighting with them for most of this race. But unfortunately, it doesn't always work that way. But had an exciting start to the race, little boring middle stint, and a hopeful last stint while I was trying to push my way to catch up. And we're going to come out of the heel of the boot with the last 3 corners to go, and we are going to finish in our first Open Series race and first in class. Be messing around with my thing there, forgetting to switch gears, but it's not that big of a deal because nobody's close to me. And here we come into turn 10. Out of turn 11. Fireworks going off in the distance. And we'll finish first in class P8 launch. I hope you guys enjoyed the Open Series. Look for the Rookie Series next week and the following day for the Open Series. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.